We want to direct your attention now to the screens to watch a special video presentation about one very special young patient from the West Texas Rehab.
We found out at 29 days old that he had full-blown SMA. Spinal muscular atrophy. It's a DNA missing that helps the muscles develop. So he was in complete failure. Got him to Hendrick. They care flighted him to Cook's Children, and then the fight for his life was on.
Basically, he could only move his hands at that point. And so we knew that he would need some physical therapy and occupational therapy as well.
Me and God walked real hard. You know, it's a very trying time in our life and in our faith, and it's a fight of life, you know, and then the uncertainties of what can they do to help him.
We first went to another facility here in town, and he would cry from the moment we parked the car until we got out. And it was just a very traumatic experience. And then I guess he was hospitalized again. And I was like, you know what? I think it's time we find somewhere else for him to go. And we got referred to y'all, and that has been the best decision that we made.
It's been great to see the progression from where he was at to not even be able to hardly roll by himself to being able to sit up on his own, being able to stand supported, you know, something we never thought that he would be able to do. It's a miracle in himself that he's here, because we were always told he wouldn't make it past 2, and he's 5.
When I started out with him, he had just come back from one of his spinal fusion surgeries. He has such severe neuromuscular scoliosis. So when I got him, he was pretty weak after that, just because of what he had been through with his trunk strength and his cervical strength, like holding his head up, being able to sit without support. 3, 2, 1, pull with your arms. Next one, pull, 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 pull. Where's your legs at? Taller, taller, hold it.
As a kid, the only occupations you have are playing and learning how to do skills on your own. So we started a lot on getting him, you know, comfortable in his own body and getting upright, sitting at various surfaces, reaching out of that base of support, using those fine motor skills to kind of manipulate those toys a little bit on his own.
A couple weeks ago, we were playing a silly game, and I had a puzzle piece on top of my head, and he's got one on top of his head, and he just stood up on his own without any help and grabbed the puzzle piece off the top of my head. And that was the coolest thing, because we both kind of looked at each other and were like, oh, wow. And, you know, then we did it 10 more times that same session, and it was awesome. That's the kind of motivation he has.
I started seeing him for feeding therapy, and then we quickly added speech therapy to work on some specific sounds he was having trouble producing. And so at first, we were not in feeding therapy, we were eating tiny little minuscule bites of foods, and really had a very limited repertoire of foods and textures that we actually did eat.
When we started here, he would not take a bottle at all. Definitely would not eat anything by mouth. And so he was 100% G-button dependent. And now they've decreased his G-button feedings by more than half. He drinks water, eats all sorts of stuff.
He started becoming a sauce kid. And so now, I remember one session, I was getting stuff ready, and I handed him a cracker, and he goes, and I go, do you want a sauce? He goes, yeah, what do you have? So now I have to think about where I'm gonna put foods together, and that, okay, we need a sauce so that he can dip all of his textures in a sauce to, one, just help him to chew it a little bit better. Two, it helps him try new textures because he dips it in something that he already knows that's gonna taste great. But, you know, a carrot stick tastes way better in a ranch, you know?
His only limitation is he can't walk. Tell him he can't do something, he's gonna show you he can do it.
I think Brantley's potential is capped at where he wants it to be. So he is gonna achieve everything that he wants to do, but he's gonna have to set his mind to it, and then we're gonna surround him and help him achieve them in whatever way possible. So, I mean, he's already doing things that probably doctors thought he would never do.
The rehab is not just good at treating patients, it's good at treating families and lifespans.
They're part of our family.
Made me realize not to take any day for granted. You know, we're given today to live for today. We can't worry about tomorrow, we gotta live for today.
I'm gonna play soccer with you.
Wow, I know all of you are feeling what I felt when I saw that video for the first time. So thankfully I saw it before now, because it's incredibly moving to see the progress Brantley's made, the amazing folks that are on stage with me right now. And we've talked about the progress that he's made, but one thing that wasn't part of that video, Brantley is in kindergarten now. So he just started kindergarten. So Brantley, how's kindergarten going?
Good.
What do you like about it?
Playground.
I don't know if any of you could see Brantley while that video was playing, but he was over here doing some, I don't know, what were you doing? Lots of movement over here, touching his toes, incredible things that have happened, all of course because of the efforts of the two ladies here as well as the team that's not up here. But Mom and Dad, what can you say about the progress, or what surprised you the most about things that he couldn't do before coming to the rehab that he can do today?
You're witnessing it. He's standing by himself.
And even before standing, when he's in his wheelchair, I've seen him pop a wheelie. So never underestimate Brantley. Are there some milestones that you've been able, I mean, clearly this is the largest one, but maybe some others that just make everyday life better and easier for you guys?
I mean, just statistically, he's not supposed to be able to sit up on his own. So that was a huge milestone, standing and wheeling himself around in his chair. Huge milestone.
And just remembering probably moments in the journey of hopelessness, but yet you're being surprised at every time he goes to a therapy session and the progress that's being made.
Yes.
Well, it's incredible. Well, to you ladies down there, of course, you put in a lot of work and spend a lot of time. Obviously, defying the odds is something that is obvious, but what have you seen in Brantley from the time that you started with him to where you're still working today?
Well, this kid loves sushi now.
Oh,
So
me
yes.
too.
So we went from not really wanting to try any foods or getting tiny bites to, have you ever eaten all-you-can-eat sushi? And I was like, oh, okay. We've definitely made some progress, so definitely a lot.
And I can kind of play on that a little. When we first started, he really couldn't touch many textures. We were very avoidant of even playing with like Play-Doh, putty, shaving cream, and now that's very easy for us. And that's kind of both of us, you know, what she's doing in feeding and what I'm doing in OT, kind of working hand in hand on that.
And I asked him in that video, we saw that he's a sauce guy, and he told me he did have sauce with his dinner tonight. So what is it about, and this can be to any of you, but about his personality and determination and spirit that really stands out? Obviously, you work with a lot of patients. What makes Brantley Brantley?
This kid is always motivated. He always comes to therapy ready to do something. So that in itself, he's ready to go. He wants to do whatever you have planned. So that's amazing.
And what are some of the things you're working on now that, really to drive home all the things that he can do ahead of him in his life?
So now in OT, we're working a lot on that strength and that use of, his upper extremities to be able to dress himself and, work on some of those activities of daily living. Those things we kind of take for granted that we do every day. We're working on that so he can kind of get that independence on his own.
Now, I've had the privilege of meeting some of you before this day and really seeing the relationship that's been built between the many therapists that you've worked with. So, Mom and Dad, what has it meant for you to be on this journey and have the support of the rehab? Either or both.
I mean, it's just been amazing. Like, they are amazing people. They are part of our family. We've seen them get married and have babies, and and seen the great things that they've done with him.
Well, we know that Brantley is working hard. Do you want to say something?
Let's tell him. What did you do this morning by yourself?
Sit up.
He sit up in his bed by himself this morning.
Wow.
Huge milestone.
High five. Well, Brantley is doing incredible things, taking on kindergarten. He's ruling the school, I have no doubt, in his wheelchair. He has on what do you have on your wheelchair? You want to tell him about it?
Monster trucks.
Monster trucks, and I believe Dad calls them hot rod. He was dancing over there on the side, so you may see him dancing more. Before we wrap things up, is there anything anybody else wants to say as we're here to spread the mission of the great work that you do, not only for Brantley and his family, but the many children and families who are benefiting from your efforts, ladies?
This place is for families, which not just are for our patients, but for our families, and our patients and their families become our families, and you're giving to a lifetime. So,
thank you so much. I want to say thank you to the Dennisons for being up here, for Brantley for being so brave and standing up, and thank you very much for all that you do every day for the rehab.